Welcome back, guys. I'm Danny,
I'm JJ.
and this is the Late Night Shit Show.
I almost said "Am I the asshole?"
Today, I have a surprise.
Oh?
I would like to talk about the Black Dahlia.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then why'd you make me look for stories?
There were 3 fucking videos. Help!
Okay.
God damn. That is not recording material. Oh, the air quality is so bad.
You heard it without the headphones this time.
I can't tell if you were talking about my accent or my voice crack.
Both.
Alright. Yes, you heard me right, folks. I want to talk about the Black Dahlia.
I don't know a lot about the Black Dahlia, so.
Honestly, there isn't much about the Black Dahlia.
Okay.
They're, researching this case, I could barely find shit. So, I will disclaim, there are a few aspects of this that I did have to get off of Wikipedia.
Okay.
Because that's how little I could find on this case. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to start out with January 15th, 1947. So, a mother was walking her kid in Los Angeles, just strolling down the street, where she sees a mannequin in the grass.
Okay.
So she walks over to check it out. That was not a mannequin.
I was about to say, that's a dead body.
That was not a mannequin. What she found was the body of 22-year-old Elizabeth Short.
Okay.
Elizabeth Short's body was completely drained of blood. Like, completely drained. And
okay.
completely drained of blood, dissected at the waist. Her arms kind of up like this, and her legs.
What do you mean by dissected?
I mean, cut open. Surgically precision cut open.
Okay.
And, completely drained of blood.
Okay.
And this is the disclaimer off of Wikipedia, but I found it pretty interesting, especially if it is true. She was cleaned with gasoline.
Cleaned with Vaseline?
Gasoline.
Okay.
Precisionally clean. Not a drop of blood was at this crime scene.
What?
Not a drop.
How long was she dead for? They don't know? I mean, yeah. No blood, no internal body temperature.
They don't even know where she was killed. They don't know where she was killed. They don't know who killed her. To this day, nobody knows what happened to her after she walked into the Biltmore Hotel.
Oh. I do know little tidbits about this case. I do. Okay. Sorry, the hotel name is what made it click for me. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are going to talk a little bit about Elizabeth Short before her death.
Okay.
So, can you go?
That's insane, truly.
Which part?
All of it. What?
Yeah. So,
them not knowing where she was killed, them not knowing how long she's been dead for since before she was found, her missing, like,
well,
all
mind
of...
you, this is in 1947.
Yeah, what?
They didn't really have the technology to be
Ex-
able to find it. Actually, ironically, this was the first. They didn't even know who she was when they found her. This
oh.
was the first case where they used fingerprints. Do I have it? So, it is in here. It's a fun fact. So, fun fact. Police quickly mailed a copy of Swartz's fingerprints to the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. But being cross country, they knew it would be days before they received answers. That's when a staff member at the Examiner suggested the authorities send the fingerprints using a newspaper news sound photo machine, an early version of a fax machine. Hours later, the FBI successfully identified Short.
Damn.
Thanks to the fingerprints they had. Yeah. Because she had been arrested 2 other times.
What for?
No, not arrested. Thanks to her
Detained?
fingerprints they had on record from when she applied for a job on the Army base in California and when she was arrested for underage drinking.
Oh, period, girly.
So, Short growing up, uh, she would fly back and forth. She had a disease where she couldn't. She would live in Florida for a while with her aunts. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. In her teens, Betty was plagued with a severe bronchitis and asthma condition, so debilitating that they required lung surgery. On a doctor advice, she spent winters in the warm climate of Florida, starting at age 16. Believed the milder climate would help improve her health. Short began spending winters in Florida with family and friends. Eventually, Short dropped out of high school and regularly visited her loved ones. Um, her father, completely different story. When she was 6 years old, her father lost the family savings following the 1929 stock market crash and mysteriously disappeared.
Oh.
His car was later found abandoned on the Charleston Bridge, where he was believed to have died by suicide. But in 1942, Short's mother received an apology letter from her husband. In the note, he said that he had begun a new life in Northern California. Soon after, when Short was 18, she decided to join him in pursuit of her dreams of being in the movies.
What the fuck?
Yeah. This man just faked his death and started a new life.
I mean, like, it was a very common thing to do back then, but, like, damn.
Right? Soon after she moved out her father's home, just a few weeks after moving in, because they were constantly fighting.
Yeah.
They did not get along.
Yeah. Stop moving away from the mic.
I'm sorry. It's like falling.
Tighten the thingy then.
I did.
Tighten it more.
Alright. She got a job at Camp Cookie, now Vandenberg Air Force Base. She meets there she meets an officer briefly. It briefly moves in with them, and before too long, she moves out, claiming he abused her.
Oh.
Right after leaving him, she got arrested in Santa Barbara for underage drinking, and then escaped to Miami, Florida. She then met Major Matthew Gordon Jr., an Army Air Force officer. She met Major Matthew on 31st of December 1944 at a New Year's Eve party, and they fell in love. He also proposed to her in a letter from India. But unfortunately, in August 1945, a few days before the end of the war, Mayor Matthews died in a plane crash.
No.
So, leading up to her death, Short moved back to California in mid-1946 because of one of her friends from Florida had transferred to the naval base in Long Beach. In the final months of her life, Elizabeth frequently moved between hotels, apartments, boarding houses, and private homes in Southern California. She often managed to stay for free or paid as little as possible. She was always short of money. For a month, she shared a small 2-bedroom apartment in Hollywood with 8 other young women.
Damn.
Yes. Short would sneak out to avoid manager when rent was due. In December 1946, just a week before her murder, Short left LA for San Diego. She allegedly told friends that she was scared, but didn't explain why. In San Diego, she met a young woman named Dorothy French, who allowed her to stay with her family. During her time with them, Short admitted she was hiding from an ex-boyfriend out of fear.
Oh.
Right. French revealed that several weeks into Short's stay, 2 men and a woman came to the home looking for her. Upon hearing about the visitor, Short became very frightened and panicky, in quotations, refusing to see them. They eventually left and she decided to relocate. Short reported on January 8th with the last person to see her alive was Robert Manley, a married salesman who gave her a ride from San Diego to Los Angeles.
Okay.
He dropped her off at the Biltmore Hotel. He helped her check her luggage in the bus station the next day, and she told him she was going to Berkeley to stay with her sister. Her sister's name is Virginia. Told authorities that they hadn't arranged to see each other.
Oh.
Yeah. Great, right?
Yeah.
Love that. After accompanying her into the hotel lobby of the Biltmore, he left her at 6:30 p.m. on January 9th, 1947, to return to his family in San Diego. Hotel employees recount seeing Short making several telephone calls in the lobby that evening, growing increasingly frantic. She departed the hotel around 10 p.m. when a car supposedly picked her up. After she gets in the car, no one sees her alive again. The next few days of Short's life leading up to her murder have been shrouded in some degree of mystery. Her exact whereabouts are unknown, aside from sporadic sightings and alleged encounter with Officer Muriel McBride, who claimed to have seen Short on January 14th, just hours before she was found dead.
No way.
So, let's get into the crime. Her body was found bisected at the waist, drained of blood, posed with her hands above her head and her legs wide open. Her face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth to her ears, a mutilation known as the Glasgow smile.
Yeah.
Deep cuts were made to her breast and torso.
What? Sorry.
Deep cuts were made
Okay.
to her breasts and torso. An autopsy of Short's body was performed on January 16th, 1947 by Frederick Neuber, the Los Angeles County coroner. The coroner ruled that she had died about 10 to 12 hours before being found.
Okay.
So, correction to the beginning. 10 to 12 hours before she was found.
Is when she was killed.
Yes.
Okay.
She had died 10 to 12 hours.
Okay.
Honestly, feel like there was some torture
Well,
beforehand.
yeah.
For sure.
When I say killed, I mean took her last breath.
Yes. They likely caused by several severe blows to the head, causing a brain hemorrhage, and she had ligature marks on her wrists, ankles, and neck, superficial lacerations on the right forearm, left upper arm, and the lower left side of the chest, indicating that she had been gagged. Well, indicating that she had been gagged and bound for some time. All the blood had been drained from her body before it was left. Schwartz's body had been cut completely in half by a technique taught in the 1930s called the I'm gonna butcher this word, hemicorporectomy.
I think you said that right, actually.
Yeah,
She got that. She just needs to sound more confident when she says it.
hemicorporectomy.
There you go.
The lower half of her body had been removed by transecting the lumbar spine between the second and third lumbar vertebrae. There was very little bruising, pointing to it being done after death.
Okay.
So her being bisected was done after death,
Okay.
probably to drain her of said blood.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably how they ended up draining her.
So, how did Elizabeth Short get the name the Black Dahlia?
Oh yeah. I'm
She
very curious
actually,
about
that wasn't her first name.
Oh.
So the press dubbed her the Black Dahlia when Shore was briefly living in the Long Beach area of California, where she was reportedly given the name as a play on the film noir The Blue Dahlia in 1946. And due to her rumored preference for black clothing and dyed black hair. That wasn't bad. I call that a 3. Los Alice initially dubbed Short's killing the werewolf murder.
Really? The werewolf murder?
The werewolf murder.
I feel like vampire fits better, but okay.
I think they probably said werewolf murder with how mutilated her body was.
Yeah.
Killing the werewolf murder, writers quickly pivoted when they learned of her nickname. So the Black Dahlia was her. Why did I say it like that?
Because that's your accent, girl. I really hate to break it to you.
The Black Dahlia was her nickname in general, but her nickname in the press after her murder originally was the werewolf murders.
Okay.
Until they heard about her nickname.
Why is it murders? Is she the only victim?
No, it's just murder.
Okay.
I might have accidentally added that as I was speaking.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Apologies.
I was just.
But
that's
there
what I
is
was
there
confused.
is a theory that she's part of the lipstick murders.
She's part of what?
The lipstick murders.
You're saying that first word too fast.
Lipstick.
Lipstick. Okay.
Which we might go over that one.
Okay.
That one's interesting.
Okay. I actually haven't heard about those. So.
I'll get you into it. So into the investigation, which was fucking botched as fuck.
No.
Botched as fuck. So the FBI and LAPD identified her through fingerprints from a previous underage drinking arrest. Despite over 150 suspects and hundreds of false confessions, the killer was never caught. News was short spread quickly, and before authorities could cordon off the crime scene, reporters swarmed the area. It began an intense period of tabloid press coverage fueled by rumors and inaccurate reporting. Like, this crime scene was trampled over. Completely. Being so disfigured, authorities knew that they wouldn't be able to share photos of the body with the public. Instead, they took her fingerprints and allowed an artist from the Los Angeles Examiner sketch a recreation of the unidentified woman. And I gave you the fun fact about that.
Yeah.
Fingerprints. On January 21st, a person claiming to be Short's killer placed a phone call to the office of James Richardson's, the editor of the Examiner, Congregation Richards, on the newspaper. Expect some souvenirs of Beth Short in the mail.
Oh?
Yeah. 3 days later, a suspicious manila envelope was discovered, addressed to the Los Angeles Examiner and other Los Angeles papers. A large message on the face of the envelope read, "Here is Dahlia's belongings," with individual words that had been cut out and pasted from newspaper clippings. So,
okay, yeah.
the whole,
Yeah.
posted so no handwriting can be done. And the envelope contained Short's birth certificate, business cards, photographs, names written on pieces of paper, and an address book with the name Mark Hansen embossed on the front cover. The packet had been carefully cleaned with gasoline, similar to Short's body, which led police to suspect that the packet had been sent directly by her killer. This is the fact that I got off of Wikipedia. I thought it was interesting, which is why I put it in here. The fact that it says that her body was cleaned with gasoline and the manila envelope.
Yeah. That's interesting.
If it's true.
If it's true. That's very interesting.
That is. But I feel like that's something. Despite efforts to clean the packet, several Partial fingerprints were lifted from the envelope and sent to the FBI for testing. However, the prints were compromised in transit and thus could not be properly analyzed.
You're fucking lying.
Nope. The same day the packet was received by the examiner, a handbag and a black suede shoe were reported to have been seen on top of a garbage can in an alley a short distance from the North Avenue, 2 miles from crime scene, also cleaned with gasoline. Did you hear what I said?
What?
Nope. Okay.
No,
The
I
same
did
day the
not.
packet was received by the examiner, a handbag and a black suede shoe were reported to have been seen on top of a garbage can in an alley a short distance from North Avenue, 2 miles from the crime scene, also cleaned with gasoline.
Okay.
Yep.
Where's bro getting this endless supply of gasoline from?
That's what I'm saying. With these gas prices,
Right.
that's insane. On March 14th, an supposed suicide note written in pencil and paper was found tucked in a shoe in a pile of man's clothing by the ocean's edge. The note read, "To whom it may concern, I have waited for the police to capture me for the Black Dahlia killing, but have not. I am too much of a coward to turn myself in, so this is the best way out for me. I couldn't help myself for that. Or this. Sorry, Mary."
Who's Mary?
Is that her mom's name? Do not know who Mary is, to be honest.
Okay.
Police quickly deemed Mark Hansen the owner of the address book found in the packet a suspect. Henson was a wealthy local nightclub and theater owner and an acquaintance at whose home Short had stayed with friends. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I understand what you're trying
yeah,
to say.
okay. So he was acquaintance to the friends that she had stayed with.
Yeah, okay.
He also confirmed that the shoe and purse were indeed Short's.
Mm.
The ones that were found.
Yeah.
Clean with gasoline. Some of Short's friends and roommates told investigators that she had recently rejected sexual advances from Hansen and suggested it was potential motive for him to kill her. Hansen was cleared eventually in the case. The LAPD interviewed over 150 men and a few men out of Hansen's address book, and Robert Manley, the guy that dropped Short off, was also a suspect, but was cleared. Many officers and departments worked and searched Short's case, trying to find any evidence. Lloyd J. Davis even posted a $10,000, equivalent to $144,188 in 2025. Rewards are bleh, reward for information leading police to Short's killer. This, unfortunately, though, led to a bunch of false confessions.
Yeah.
Because people are
Greedy.
assholes.
Greedy assholes.
Yes. January 26th, another letter was received by the examiner, this time handwritten, which read, "Here it is. Turning in Wednesday, January 29th, 10 a.m. Had my fun at police, Black Dahlia Avenger." The letter also had a location at which the supposed killer would turn himself in. Police waited at the location on the morning of January 29th, but the alleged killer did not appear. Instead, at 1 p.m., the examiner office received another cut and pasted letter which read, "Have changed my mind. You would not give me a square deal. Dahlia killing was justified." Both local and national publications heavily covered the story, suggesting that Short had been tortured for hours prior to her death, which was false, but police also allowed the reports to circulate so as to conceal Short's true cause of death from the public.
So she wasn't tortured for hours beforehand?
No.
Okay.
All of her cuts were done after she died.
Oh, postmortem.
Yes.
So that just begs the question as to why.
It does. And who?
I guess we'll never know.
Why, who, and where?
Yeah.
Spring of 1947, Short's murder had become a cold case with few new leads. Sergeant Phineas Brown, one of the lead detectives on the case, blamed the press for compromising the investigation through journalists' probing of details and unverified reportings.
Or how about the fact that they rummaged through the crime scene?
Yeah. Like, let's not.
Maybe they could have gotten, like, a footprint or something.
Literally. But you trampled all over it. So did the police. The police trampled through it too.
Yeah.
Like, they completely botched this investigation. In September 1949, a grand jury convened to discuss inadequacies in the LAPD's homicide unit based on their failure to solve numerous murders, especially those of women and children in the previous several years, Shorts being one of them. Yeah, as you'll find out, listening to true crime, the LAPD sucks.
Yeah, it does.
They suck.
They suck. They really do.
In the end, Elizabeth Short's murder has still not been solved to this day, but many have theories and who it could be. And we're going to go over the 3 top ones.
Oh, yes, please.
So our top one is our infamous Dr. George Hoddle, the owner of the address book.
Mm-hmm.
A former LAPD detective, Steve Hoddle. No, that's not. Is that? I only have 2. Yeah, hold up. Okay. Former LAPD detective Steve Hoddle theorized that his own father, a physician, was the killer. Evidence cited includes George Hoddle's surgical skills. Elizabeth Short's body was surgically dissected.
Okay.
A wiretap recording of him saying, "Supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia. They couldn't prove it now." And the mysterious death of his secretary. Critics note no evidence ties Hoddle to Short, and some of Steve Hoddle's claims have been disputed.
What happened to Bro's secretary, though?
Right.
Like, what do you mean? She just disappeared? Hello?
Our next person is Leslie Dillon. Author P.O. Eastwood book Black Dahlia, Red Rose suggests Leslie Dillon, a bellhop and former mortician's assistant, was the murderer. The theory posts a police cover-up due to links between Dillon's co-conspirator, nightclub owner Mark Hansen, and a corrupt LAPD sergeant. Dillon was a key suspect at one point, but was eventually cleared by police and the district attorney's office.
What the fuck?
And then our third one is Marvin Margulis, this pre-medical student and former Navy corpsman who had medical knowledge and a history of mental instability, was a known acquaintance of Short. He was recently linked to the Zodiac killer case by an amateur code breaker using AI who suggests Marvin Murrill, an alias Margulis used, was the name hidden in Zodiac cipher.
Oh.
That's a loose connection.
Yeah, that's very loose.
But it's still a theory.
Yeah.
I feel, because you guys can go search yourself, the George Hoddle theory, where, like, the detective, the son, he goes deep. Like, you go into it more. It's very convincing. Personally, I feel like it honestly could be. Like, he goes deep. Like,
I want to know.
Like, he went to court and was like, here's all the evidence. Like, they could have.
Okay. I want to know where she was going, since she didn't actually have plans to meet up with her sister. According to the sister. That too. Who was she calling?
Who'd she leave with?
Who was driving that car? that she got into.
Who picked her up? What was this sighting
And
from this police officer only hours before she was found dead?
Yeah, which is crazy because they said she died 11 hours before she was found dead. 4 to 5 hours. Where'd I get 11 from?
I don't know.
Waiting for the confirmation.
Oh, 10 to 12 hours before being found.
Yeah.
But the cop...
So wait, I was right when I said 11.
Yeah, 10 to 12 hours. Officer McBridle claimed to have seen Shore on January 14th, just hours before she was found dead. So we don't have a time span of... So it was the day prior, at least. And
okay.
do I have a time? I don't have a time for when she was found. But yes.
Okay. So she was found at blank time because we don't know said time when she was found at.
No, but I feel like it was...
And then she was killed 10 to 12 hours before that.
Yeah.
And he had said the previous day that he saw her?
Yes.
Okay.
Just hours before she was found. So that's suspicious.
Yeah, a little bit. Because it takes a while to drain a body.
Yep.
It takes a while to drain a body, no matter how big you cut them open.
Exactly. Yep.
However, you know who would have that skill? A mortician.
Or a doctor.
Or a doctor.
Yep. So that was the Black Dahlia.
Damn. No wonder you wanted to do this case.
I love this case. And it's like, it's this case. I love this case. For the mix of the fact that there's so many theories and there's so many things that could have happened and there's so much space for speculation.
Yeah.
And it was so botched that, like, you can get so mad. And you just hope that some, like... Also, the Black Dahlia is my favorite flower. So... But on that note, if you like this, or if you have any notes, I would love notes as well. I'm not the best at researching, so I hope I did this well.
I was about to say, I think you did pretty good.
You think so?
I do.
You think so?
Where'd you get the rest of everything else? Different websites?
Yes, I have everything cited down here.
Okay. Because I know you said Wikipedia.
I got People's.
Okay.
There are Los Angeles Tours, American Ghost Walks, Crime and Investigations, Wikipedia, even the FBI site.
Okay.
A few things.
Hell yeah.
But the FBI site literally was just, this is when she died, this is how she was found, this is how old she is, this is her name.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was like nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, each of these is just copy and paste. The same story. So on that note, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you like to send us some Am I the Asshole stories of your own, or you would like us to react to, or any paranormal stories that you would like us to react to, or of your own. If you have any true crime and stories that you would like us to go over, we would love to hear it. You can email us at thelatenightshitshow@gmail.com. I'll put it on the screen here. Thank you, and good night.